This is one of my favorite episodes of the year. For real, yeah. Week 1, it's the hot takes because this is what happens. Happens every time. The last time we had real football was in February. So we had the rest of February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. We've had 8 months of no football. What have we done for 8 months? Talk about football coming back. Gas teams up. Shit on teams.
Yeah.
And then, bam, now it's the real shit. And it's overreactions.
Yeah.
You're validated in some cases. You're completely wrong in other cases. So there's a lot of them. And what we're going to do for this episode, it's the hot takes fallout from week 1. We're going to go game by game. And within the games, as we always do on the Monday show, more hot takes than others. Some will breeze over. But, bro, we got to start with the... Ready for this? Is this the best football game you've ever seen?
It rivals the one that I saw between Jared Goff and Mahomes and Mexico City. I will say that. Like, as far as shootout, I would put those two in the same category. Last night, though, was more so of the you cannot believe what's happening on your television. Where do you want to start with that game? Because there's, like, so many different parts that you can highlight. Me personally, I think the game starts at the Derrick Henry fumble, and you let me know where you want to go.
Well, I don't think the game. I think the game gets really crazy when that happens. I wouldn't say that it starts there. I don't even think it's a hot take, honestly. Watching that game last night, bro. I think they're the two best teams in the league by a fair margin. Like, dude, let's do another, epic comeback or epic collapse. Which one is that? I think these two teams are the best teams in the league by far. Talent all over the place. I think it continues to validate Josh Allen as being probably the best quarterback right now in the league. Where, in a big spot, he's going to deliver. And, like, you look at his roster, bro. He don't got no all-pros. Josh Palmer was a legitimate target for him. And you know what? I haven't heard this yet, but you know who Josh Allen reminds me of, bro? Can I give you a cross-sport comparison?
Oh, you're going cross-sport.
I'm going cross-sport.
What sport is it?
NBA.
Josh Allen is Luka?
No, but very close. He's a white European guy.
Oh, my gosh. Why am I blanking?
Come on, bro. Who's the best player in the world right now in the NBA?
Shea?
No, dude.
You said white. You said best player in the NBA?
Jokic.
Fuck. There's a whole bunch of these I think European whites.
Yeah. I think Josh Allen
How did I forget that
and Nikola Jokic are the same exact player. Now, catch what I'm saying before I go, right? They both have won an MVP. They both, when guys go to their teams, get elevated. If you look at the talent around them, now I know Jamal Murray's on a super max and he's a hell of a point guard. However, if you catch him on the wrong night, you're like, holy fuck. How are they winning games with this dude? Then you catch him on different nights and you're like, yo, he's one of the 5 best point guards in the league. But Jokic, guys take less money to go play with him. Guys end up leaving and getting more money because they played with him, but then they're no longer the same player. I think Josh Allen, he got Shakir paid.
Mm-hmm.
The tight ends are
Kincaid.
Kincaid and Knox. James Cook got paid. You don't think James Cook, with the read option that they do in Buffalo, benefits from that? Keon Coleman yesterday was like the best game he's ever had.
Yep.
Since he got there. Like I said, Shakir got a contract extension. Gabe Davis left. Where's he? He's been on 3 different teams, cut left and right. Jacksonville was going to be with the Giants. And I just think that both of these guys, they both won MVPs. Obviously, Jokic has won a title. But on a weekly basis, on a nightly basis, they're the 2 best guys in the league. Now,
I can't argue.
Come playoff time, do they run into someone that has their number? Yeah, maybe. But Buffalo tested Kansas City in the playoffs like they have all the time. You know, Buffalo always plays in these crazy ass games. Remember the conference championship game, the 13 seconds?
Yep.
Buffalo was in that game. Josh Allen just elevates everyone around him the way Jokic does. And I was just thinking that yesterday, I was just like, bro, that was such a crazy fucking performance. And like Josh Palmer making big plays and going to him on like the game winning drive too. This guy just came over from the Chargers and he was a massive disappointment.
Yeah.
And now you're looking at it like, damn, bro, he's going to be elevated. So the concept around this comparison is that these guys go to Josh Allen and Jokic and they get elevated. They become legitimate players.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
No, I think that's a perfect analogy. I think when you don't fault them ever for anything, I think is another case, right? Like in the case of Jokic, it's always Murray. It's always, Porter Jr.
Yeah.
Not fulfilling his roles and doing what he needs to do. So it's fitting. I would like to see him win a ring, and then it would be like, holy shit, these guys are a carbon copy of each other. But yeah, no, even their personalities off the field, like minus his new wife, like he's been rather low key. You don't hear about him. And that's just, that's the archetype that he's chosen. But you said that the game didn't start at the Derrick Henry fumble. I just felt like everything that was up to that moment was both of the teams operating at full efficiency, full effectiveness. And it was the first chink in the armor that allowed the Bills to storm back. I mean, up until that point, bro, I mean, this is 15-point game in the fourth quarter. But it didn't seem like the Bills were playing terrible either. Like, it's just, where do you want to start at this game and highlighting?
Well, something,
craziness?
I like doing, like, if I could bring jujitsu into a conversation, I'm always going to do that, right? But I wonder if, so my coach, Jerry Shapiro, he's been on the show way back in the day too. And lately we've been going over rear naked chokes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like one of the concepts is like defending a rear naked choke. And in the past, I would defend it. And if you guys are watching, right, I would always grab here at like the forearm and try to pull down, but you're strong here, right? They teach pull at the fingers, pull at the wrist, because it's a lot weaker. It's a lot easier for you to pull down to get out and not get choked. If you look at the fumble that Derrick Henry had, they attacked them at the fingernails, like at the fingers.
Yep.
Right. So if you're holding the football and I'm going to strip you here, I'm strong here, but here it's weaker.
Yep.
So I wonder if that's going to be like, remember how the punch out became like a real thing, like Peanut Tillman and the Bears? It's still a thing. Yeah, it's still a thing. But I'm saying, like, I wonder if, like, instead of trying to strip someone at the forearms and at the elbow, you're going higher to the wrist because it's easier to open up the hand. So I just found that interesting because that's how Derrick Henry fumbled.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that we're drilling that now in class and in training. And I was just like, damn, bro, I feel like that might be like a new wave, like attack at the wrist and at the fingers to loosen up the grips on the football. And before that happened, first of all, this fucking guy, 160 plus yards he had. I took him in the third round in my fantasy league because of regression. People that wear 3 condoms when they play fantasy, they're worried about regression when he's literally an anomaly and we've never seen anything like this with Derrick Henry. And he was going fucking bananas on them. And the game felt like revenge from Baltimore's side. Lamar lost the MVP to dude. Y'all beat us in the playoffs. Everyone was betting Mark Andrews to score a touchdown because Likely was out and he had the bad drop. 1 catch.
Sorry, people. I don't know my anytime touchdown parlay.
Hey, D-Hop, turning it back to Houston days, one-hander. And you're like, holy shit, Zay Flowers going crazy. Lamar going crazy. And for 3.5 quarters, you're like, I even texted in the Discord. Shout out to the Veterans Minimum Discord. You could join the Discord. It's $1. Go to patreon.com/Veterans Minimum. $1 a month. That's all we ask for. Betting picks, Discord community, the whole nine. I'm like, I picked the wrong AFC team.
Yeah, man, it really did look terrible. But I also, Nick, this is a spot in which I'm not going to overreact to week one just because of the revenge factor of this game. It just meant more, and we're going to get a different version. Like this is not the same Ravens team that you're going to get throughout the entirety of the year. I promise. Wait until they play like the fucking Jaguars.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? And to your point, I think this game meant so much more to Buffalo long term because Baltimore can go into other venues and win because of their style of play. I don't think Buffalo can go to the Super Bowl unless it has to go through Buffalo.
Yeah.
They're a team they're like 29-3 in Buffalo in the last, that'd be 3.5 years-ish if you can't play. It's a tough place to play in. And that game was so wild because I felt like those two teams were clearly the best teams in the league. I feel good about both teams. I just think it's like one of those like, bro, this happens once every fucking so often. But I don't know if you saw this. No coach it's the Ravens, the Niners, and the Chargers since 2020 have blown the most double-digit leads. Should Harbaugh be on the hot seat?
I mean,
not hot seat, but like any criticism.
I was literally just about to bring up. I ended the end of last season saying that Sean McDermott should be on the hot seat. And up until right around the third quarter, I was like, I feel pretty vindicated in saying this because this is exactly why he should be on the hot seat. It's a big time opponent that you will be facing in the playoffs down the road. You need to get the job done. Thankfully, the football gods were on his side. You know, that 4th and 2 to Keon Coleman is, that's Jesus. That's literally Jesus at work helping Josh Allen. So he didn't have the situational aspects from the playoff game last year that I wanted Sean McDermott on the hot seat. You asking me about Harbaugh. Do you go for it on 4th down? And then do you call your timeouts in the fashion that he called his timeouts? Because hear me out here. A lot of people are going to say he should have went for it on the 4th down. Go for it. And then regardless, they're already in field goal range. You can get the ball back and it could be you with the ball last, which I'm a fan of, but I don't even want to think about that. I was so invested in how he was going to use his last timeout, given the fact that it was a 3rd down and they wanted to keep the clock going. I told Cameron, and this is something, I don't know if it crossed your mind. Did you think he was going to possibly do like a fake timeout? Because the Bills had no timeouts. So if they take a knee expecting the Ravens to call a timeout and Harbaugh just like fakes it and the clock just keeps going and then they have to do the fire drill, which they inevitably had to do, but you could have kind of like dicked their mind. I don't know if that came across your mind. He was fucked at that point in time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I didn't really.
I found that part interesting.
That didn't cross my mind. I just think the thing that's wild is you got nearly perfect games from your big three. Zay Flowers was going crazy. Lamar went crazy. Lamar and Derrick Henry, 5 of Baltimore's first 5 touchdowns were all of Baltimore's touchdowns had to do with them, either passing or running, right? And Derrick Henry was just carved them up. 169 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns before his fumble. And yeah, it's just if you're Buffalo, you stole one for sure. As high as 65-1 to win that game.
Oh my God!
With 4 minutes left, right?
Probably after the touchdown, huh?
Well, this was before the Keon Coleman deflected touchdown.
Yeah.
Right? Because then
on 4th and
then Derrick Henry fumbled, and then that's how they had the game turned around there. But like, Keon Coleman, man, career high 8 catches for 112 yards, go ahead touchdown, in the 4th quarter off the tip pass. he had one catch for 17 yards in the first half, and then he went crazy in the second half. So I don't know if he like figured it out. That's a massive like the one thing
I think it was situational
for sure. Let's see this be sustainable, and then we could agree. But that's the one thing Buffalo really needs is like an alpha wide receiver. I like Shakir, but I have a problem with slot receivers being in number one. I feel like you need a guy on the outside. So I feel good about both teams. I'm not overreacting. All right, Baltimore was 0-2 last year to start the season. Shit happens. I'm not worried about them. You know why? Because of the infrastructure and the culture. Shout out to Maurice Clarett. He's talked about this on the preview show. There's something about the culture. I think they bounce back. I got no other issues or complaints with this game.
Yeah, no, I'm in full agreement with you. I think it was a great way. At times, Nick, doesn't it feel so scripted? Especially the way Collinsworth and Mike Tirico were talking about, if the Bills are able to get, or the Ravens are able to get the ball back, they should have it with about 17 seconds left on the thing, and it ends up being like 17 seconds. I'm like, Jesus Christ. These guys. The NFL does it, dude. They find a way.
What about this? The line on that game was -1, and it lands on the number. It's crazy shit. It's crazy shit. And it goes to show you just how close these games end up being, bro. And like those half points are massive. You know about that. George fucked up the graphic, and we lost on both of them.
It was a rough week one for the graphics.
So
rough week
I text George the picks, and on the graphics, it was Broncos -8. He put Broncos -8.5 on mine, lost that, and then you had Titans +7.5. It's like, bro, we should have pushed on both of them. But you know it happens. I'm just fucking with you and messing around. But yeah, like on a serious note, that half point is everything, bro. That half point is massive, you know? And like even in a couple of games we'll get to in a little bit, you saw some big swings in the point spreads. Like Cincinnati and Cleveland was 6.5 all week, and on kickoff it's 4.5. And you're like, I fucking really liked Cleveland. From July, I said this. I was like, there's no way they're not going to be Ursulita. And they were. And it's like, and actually, no, it was the toxic one. That's what it was. And shout out to John in the DMs. He wanted us to explain what we mean by the toxic one. So the toxic one, we have funny names for our picks, right? And one of them is the toxic one. The toxic one is the popular bet that people are making that might be too obvious. And we're like, yo, there's no way we would play that. Either play the other side or don't play anything. Pass. Sometimes the best bet you make is the one you don't make.
Yep.
And that's why it was like Bengals -6 was the toxic play of the week. And it was because Cleveland ended up covering. So just to add context to the picks and to the new people that have caught on to the show, whether it was in the spring or the summer, like now we're actually making the betting picks, for you guys to understand that, like, yo, if we say there's a bet that's toxic, we're not betting it. We're either betting the other side in some cases,
or we're
like
staying,
Cleveland, or we're steer
clear.
Stay the fuck clear. Yeah, so we just wanted to explain that. Browns and Bengals, you feel any different?
I feel like we would be missing the biggest part of the Bills-Ravens game, and we could touch on it quick. The fan who is now banned for life after shoving Lamar Jackson and DeAndre Hopkins. Your thoughts on that?
About what the fan did, or what the players should be allowed to do? Because it's two different answers. You know how I felt about this.
On the road is crazy.
Bro, listen,
crazy.
I have been talking about this shit. Veterans minimum is 10 years old. I've been talking about it for 10 years. If you want to stop athletes being racially heckled, racial slurs being sent their way, physically attacked, I have a solution. You put your hands on an athlete, it comes out, it's recorded that you said something crazy to them, you said a racial slur to them, something homophobic. They're allowed to respond with no repercussions. And then watch how fucking Chad and Brad in row 26C stop yapping.
Yeah.
If they know that they could get their shit punched in and they can't sue.
Yeah.
Some people are like Meta World Peace, bro. Some people will be like, That's Malice at the Palace. How many times have I told you one of my favorite sporting events of all time is Malice at the Palace?
Yeah.
Mad times, bro. It's a top 5 event.
It could have literally, like,
it is.
Given the situation and circumstance, the fact that Lamar only shoved,
Bro,
it's a good restraint on his part.
Very good restraint. I think if you implemented that, it would never happen. But if that was possible, watch how fans stop getting beer muscles and feeling a type of way talking. Because some people, they talk reckless to athletes, bro. They talk very, very reckless to athletes. And some people don't know the dangers of like a physical altercation. And I just think if I knew for a fact that this person can hit me and I can't sue him, I can't hide behind that, I'm probably not heckling him that way.
Oh, facts.
So that's how I feel about it. Him getting banned, yeah, he should be, bro. You can't do that shit. You can't do that shit. Because if Lamar was to react in a different way, then it's I'm pressing charges and all that fucking whack shit that they be doing.
Well,
so.
and let's not act like all the media the next day wouldn't be like, oh, Lamar Jackson needs to learn restraint. Like, come on, bro. Give me a break. He just went through a full football game. He got fucked over. And, that's just it's a terrible situation. That was a pretty wild way to end Sunday night.